welcome back. This is a much delayed video review post here at the Museum Modeler. But we want to get back in the game, and we want to showcase upcoming builds, of course, reviews of kits, and this particular is going to be an unboxing review. This is the Accurate Miniatures B-25B Mitchell. It's a bit of an older kit. Came out several years ago. In fact, I don't even think Accurate Miniatures is extant anymore. I think their molds have all been outsourced. But this is a kit I was wanting to try for a long time. Accurate Miniatures is known for having, really high quality stuff, fantastic molding, great execution in the production of the kit and provision of reference materials. I was having a hard time finding it though because, again, the kit's out of production. If you hear that banging, that's just my cat at the door, sorry. The kit was out of production for a long time, but I was able to pick this one up for a song over at an IPMS show at $10. New in the box, sealed, could not pass that up. Waited a while now to build it. Actually had it in the stash for almost a year, but I'm currently working on a 1/700th scale USS Hornet. You can see her here. It is depicted during the time of the Doolittle raid. And since this is going to be a Doolittle raid B-25, I think it makes perfect sense to have that as a concurrent build. A lot of times I'll build something with lots of detail, long time between phases like a ship, and I'll build something a little bit larger scale during that, kind of as a respite. Also, while you're cutting out a scale mile of photo etch railing, you've got something a bit larger to work on as well, where you can see the progress flow a little bit quicker. It's just a way of keeping momentum and your stamina and your will to keep going. So anyways, let's take a look at the B-25 here. Simple box art. You've got, this aircraft taking off from the deck of the Hornet. Not really much extra detail, but, shows what you're getting in the box. It does label as a Doolittle Raider, so you know that you're getting that specific aircraft. You're getting the decals for one of those specific aircraft. You could do another B-25B, but you'd have to get, third-party decals and maybe a little bit of modification if you don't want to do a Doolittle Raider. Alright, box is super tight, so it takes a little bit of effort to get it off, but let's put it over here. Alright, we've got bags, 3 of them. Luckily they're not all in one bag, like an Airfix kit. So you've got these broken down here, and then back here. You've got a false bottom with a nice picture of one of the Doolittle Raiders taking off from the Hornet in April of '42. With an extra chart, these must be your paint masks for the canopies, and the nose weights, because this is such a big model with tricycle landing gear that it would probably sit tail heavy if you didn't weight it. So, yeah, here are the weights. This feels like it's maybe quarter pound, half pound, more than enough, of course, to keep the aircraft sitting the way it's supposed to. Here are your paint masks for the canopies, and then a whole sprue of clear parts. These look very nice and crisp. We'll take a look at them in more detail in just a minute. Alright, oh gosh, so there's decals. Yeah, every Doolittle Raider. You've got, of course, Ruptured Duck, the most famous one, made famous in 30 Seconds Over Tokyo, the book and the movie. And yep, so you've got some other nose art there. You've got tail markings for all of the bombers. These look like they're in register. They're by micro scale, so I'm sure they're fantastic quality. Nice touch is also the red dots for the insignia. Those are optional, the meatballs, so you can have them on or off, depending on, again, what era you're modeling the B-25. In case this is not going to be a Doolittle Raider, you can, of course, leave the red dots off. Instruction manual. Wow, it feels like yeah, it is. This is almost like a book. It's probably about 30 pages. Lots of detail. Looks like every piece is not only numbered, but also labeled with what it is, and with extra historical details as well. So it tells you what pieces did. So that's a nice little feature. And yet more reference material. This is an exact copy of General Doolittle's after-action report on the Tokyo raid. So yeah, this is the report he submitted to the War Department in June of '42, detailing the success of the raid, the planning that went into it. Oh, and it's got a rundown of what every bomber did. It's got the aircraft number, all the crew members of that aircraft, and then a brief synopsis of each aircraft's success or failure. So that's a fantastic little approach as well. This looks like a kit made for the museum modeler, because as you know, we like to look at not just the build, the enjoyment of the build, but also the historical context into which the subject fits. And this gives you all the information you could need on the Doolittle raid. Alright, well let's take a look now at the individual sprues in the bags. Have not opened these yet. Press the X-Actonize here. Let's just... It's always exciting to open for the first time. Slice that open there. Let's see what we have. Okay. So these are, I thought they were mirror sprues, but they are not. They are your cowlings, engine material. Looks like this is the extra fuel tank that was installed in the bomb bay of the B-25s. Here are your other cowlings, along with nicely molded machine guns, and there's another gun there. You know, these are really good, especially for 1/48 scale. I'm still thinking I might go with a third party, like a Brassin or something else, photo etch or white metal, just to kind of complement that a little bit more. Of course, you know, the Raiders didn't have tail guns. They'd have been replaced with wooden, apocryphally, they're wooden broomsticks painted black, but it was at least a wooden pole of some kind sticking out the back. It was to lighten the load, since, you know, every pound was crucial on this flight, since they had to take off so early, having been spotted by a Japanese patrol. Alright, let's open up the next bag here. These are clearly the wings. 2 pieces each. Really nice detail. Yeah, there's the copyright date of 1999 here. You got recessed panel lines, individually molded rivets. This is really pretty. Fuel caps. Let me give you this one here. This sprue feels a little bit more solid, just for a quick close-up of what you've got here. So that's really well done. The flaps are molded on, so if you want to have those lowered, same thing for the leading edges, you're going to have to do some scratch building there. Since, well, I'm going to have this one parked on the Hornet, not taking off, I'll have to look at some reference material and see if when the Mitchell was sitting, if its flaps were dropped or not. If so, I'll probably have to do a little bit of work on that. Alright, this is the big bag. Looks like there are numerous frets in here. Didn't quite cut it all the way. Let's get that a little bit cleaner. There we go. There we are. Okay, here's all the goodies. Oh, got a loose prop there. Nicely molded though, not too thick, and yep, everything's on there. Nice. So this first fret has, looks like your engine, yeah, it's got your full engines here, but this is a really nice touch. There's actually the molded slotted screws here near the cowlings. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's a nifty little touch right there. Good engine detail also, looking at the actual engines themselves. These are your ignition wires and spark plugs. They might be a little bit out of scale, so some wire work might be necessary to get those cleaned up. Depending how visible they are, you may not need to fiddle with that at all. Okay, here's your horizontal stabilizer. Again, the elevons are one piece. They are not adjustable. Same thing for the vertical stabilizers as well. Now, I do know these were parked straight, so this is not going to be a problem at all. Okay, and next one. This looks like some internal components. You've got some gear here. You've got, this looks like bomb bay doors. I'm sorry, bulkheads inside the bomb bay. Wheels. The wheels are 2-piece, which is never fun, but I don't know if you can tell, they are molded with a little bit of pressure on the wheels to give a little bit of the weight of the aircraft, so that's nice. And they've got good tread also. I'll have to see how well together those go. We may want to invest in something third party. And, oh, there's your racks for the bomb load. That's really nicely molded right there. It's almost like a slide mold, but I'm pretty sure that technology didn't exist when this kit was produced. there's your armament. You've got 100-pound bombs, 500-pound bombs, depth charges. You might have some incendiaries here as well. There were 4 bombs in each Doolittle Raider. Sometimes they were all just 500-pound GPs, sometimes they were incendiaries, depended on the aircraft being modeled. Exterior differences of the weapons aren't that extreme. Depth charges, we'll not be using those, but I'm definitely going to keep them, because those are nicely done. They've got timers set on them. Yeah, so those are going to be a keeper right there. Not for this build, but certainly for another. Same thing for all these 100-pounders. I can think of some F4F Wildcats that might be able to use those. This is a big one here. This is clearly the fuselage. And you've got some cockpit detail here as well, or maybe that's a navigator station. I know the radio was taken out of the Doolittle Raiders, again, for weight and also to ensure radio secrecy. Yes, let's remove the radio. That's a good way of making sure nobody broadcasts your position. Nicely molded seats there. I like the underseat detail. Probably going to put some cushions on that, and of course get some seat belts. I've heard that when this kit is assembled, a lot of the interior detail is lost, which is a shame because there's a lot of little knickknacks and doodads here. Even got some insulation padding here and some wiring molded around the inside. I certainly hope that's visible. This video is getting kind of long actually, so I'll probably wrap it up soon. Let's just take a look at the clear front real quick. Got the canopies here. Nice. No real distortion. Well, there's a little bit of distortion here on the left side window. Don't know if you can see that or not, but hopefully some future might clear that up. Clear instrument panel. That would be nice. I don't know if there's decals for the panel itself. We'll take a look at that later. Ball turrets. Again, there was no underside turret on the Doolittle Raiders. Too heavy, too cumbersome. A little bit of distortion on the tail window here. And again, on this piece. Yeah, hopefully some pledge future will clean that up. Looks like the side windows are clear though, so that's nice. Okay. Weights, nothing fancy there. Canopy masks. I've heard these are a little bit big on the main canopy here. They need to be cut. I'm looking forward to trying these. I usually use Tamiya tape, a light, a sharp X-Acto knife, and a whole lot of luck to get my canopies masked, so this will be a nice experience if these work. Looking forward to that. Decals, again, in register, microscale, looking nice. There are some seatbelt decals. I don't really like those, never have. And everything else. Yeah, there's markings for ruptured duck, whirling dervish, wisp of heat. And then the rest of the Raiders, not all of them had nose art. I'd like to do Doolittle's, but I'm afraid that his is pretty boring. I need to see exactly which craft he was, but I don't believe he had any nose art. I don't really want to do ruptured duck, because everybody does ruptured duck, you know? So the jury's still out on exactly which B-25 we'll be building. With the exception of the bomb loads, they're all pretty much identical, so we can hold that off until the end. I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now if this video is kind of messy. We've had some serious battery issues, so we're going to have like 4 different videos spliced together at the end of all this, so I'm sorry about that. But hopefully it'll be somewhat cohesive at the end. Just to finish up, actually, we're talking again about the manual here. I mean, there's some really great little asides put here. You know, a word about the lower turret, a description of how it worked, or how it didn't work, rather, and why it was often omitted for B-25s. Descriptions of these other turrets. Oh, right, going back to this. I've heard that this is the tricky part, that if you don't have everything 100% perfectly aligned, dry-fitted 5 times before you try this, that the whole thing just goes sideways. We don't want that to happen, so this is going to be a long and careful build. I want this to look good. I've heard that when you do it right, it is just gorgeous. So let's cross our fingers and make sure we take our time. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Very excited about trying this kit out. I want to have her displayed on a makeshift Hornet flight deck, so stained, you know, Norfolk stained 250N. I want to get scale wood pieces depicting the Hornet's deck as well as the tie-downs. I don't know if there's a company that makes a Yorktown-class flight deck for 1/48 scale. If not, I'm not scared about building one, so that should be fine. But if a company makes one for, you know, 30, 40 bucks, that's probably going to be a sound investment. Again, we'll see. I do want to also do tie-downs. I'll probably use Easy Line for that, since there was a kind of a wonky pyramid shape tie down on each wing holding the B-25s to Hornet's Deck. Alright, well, that is our quick review of this unboxing of the Accurate Miniatures B-25. Probably get a couple of build videos up and some more unboxing reviews in the near future. Check out the blog at themuseummodeler.wordpress.com. Don't skip any M's, don't skip any L's. You know, The Museum Modeler, one long phrase, 3 words. Or also Facebook, like us. Museum Modeler has its own Facebook page now, so go over there, hit that like button. You'll get updates about the kit builds that you don't normally see in the blog, more snapshots, and then you'll get full rundowns in the blog proper. And we're also going to get this Hornet up there shortly. You may have also noticed this little carrier. That's just a fun project for my wife because she wanted one of her own. So that's neither here nor there. Alright, thank you very much for watching this. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for subscribing. You're awesome. And have a great rest of your day. Today is Saturday here, so enjoy your Saturday. Thanks a lot.